Hi everyone, welcome back to World of Might, the Partwork Wrangler, and today on the channel we've got Wrath of the Litchking issue number 2. Yes, that's right. So this is a really fun issue. The parts are very similar to that of the Gauntlet because of the sheer size of them. Now let's get down to the bit I want, which is this. Now I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but I think it's Spalvda. Something like that. It's got some very interesting names to it. So this is the left spouder apparently, and we're just going to be putting some details like spikes onto the actual spouder itself. And then as you can see, various components go to, sorry you can't see that, let me just swizzle my camera around, there we go. Yeah, various components go onto this mechanism here, and then we should have something that looks very similar to that with the skull on, and then it should look something like that, and that sits over his sort of shoulder area there. So yeah, this is going to be quite some build. So let's get our magazine over there. And yeah, when I said about the Gauntlet, it just reminds me of the Gauntlet because of how big these parts are. When you look at the Gauntlet, them parts are absolutely ginormous. And yeah, these are some of the parts. So this is metal. We've then got this part that's plastic. So that's like an inner bit that goes into there. The skull itself is actually plastic, which I'm kind of disappointed with. I thought that might have been like a, I've just noticed there's some sort of orange paint there. Yeah, I would have thought that'd be metal. And then we've got this part here, which is plastic itself. So let's get started on this part here. So what we need to do first things first is to bring in 2-1. Now 2-1 is obviously this part here, and this is the left spouder. So yeah, I can't wait to get these in. Now all of these spikes are different, okay? So as you can see, this one's got like a curve to it. This one's a little bit of a curve. It's a little bit smaller. Now if you get muddled up, you can just go by the key notch here. So this key notch is up there, the bottom key notch, this one's to the side, that one's to the bottom, you get me. So it's quite easy to differentiate the difference. So what we need to do is to get my PH0 screwdriver. We need to get ourselves some AP screws. So let's get ourselves some AP screws, and we've got to put each one of these spikes in. So the first one is going to be the little one, which I assume might be this one. Let's have a look. I'm looking for a very specific one, and I think that might just be our first one there. So yeah, I reckon that's that one, because it's going up to there. So let's get into this one here. Now I'm not really fussed if they're wrong or not. I still keep forgetting to get my magnetizer. Really must dig that out, because as you can see it keeps sliding from me. So I thought I had that. Must be at my office. Have to have a look, shall we? So let's put this into here. Yeah, I might need a shorter screwdriver for this bit, because we're getting. Okay, so 2D is our next one, which is got, sorry, 2C is the next one. And this is one that's got that curve on it. So I reckon it's out of these two here. And, oh, that's interesting. It says here, you can see there's a little engraving of the number 2 there. So all of these have 2. It doesn't say C or anything on there. So let's just have a look. Yeah, 2. And then this says 3, that one says 1. Ah, so that might be a lot more helpful. Yeah, there we go. So if you do get muddled up, there is a little 3 marked on there. I don't know if you can see that. Just, sorry, this focus is not doing it, but you see it's just there, number 3. So that's going to be a lot more easier. So what I'm going to do, we need number 2, don't we? So let's get number 2. Where's number 2? It must be that one because it's saying number 2 on it. So, right, I don't know what number that was, but wow, that's a lot more easier for me now. Fantastic. Now, it could very well be they've said AP because this is driving into a plastic part. So where's number 2 again? Just want to double check. Okay, and number 2 marries up with the number 2 that's here. Beautiful. So let's put this into here like so. Yeah, apologies there weren't no video for this. I think when do we do this? Tuesdays, is it, or Monday? I can't remember when it went up, but I was busy, so I wasn't able to do the video. So yeah, right, this is gonna be quite. Trouble is, it's gripping it but holding it, and then obviously because you've got the part turning while you screw it in, it's quite difficult. Okay, so that's as far as I can get that. Beautiful. Okay, so then we want, what's this one here? This is number 3. So I'm going to check to see if I've got number 3 here. And as you can see, just there it says number 3. So we're going to use number 3 next, and that's going to go onto that spike there. I feel like, I don't know why, but I feel like this is something from the Chronicles of Narnia. Because when you look at the ice castle that queen is in, it's all got like sort of spike decorations and stuff. Right, let's put that onto there. Screw that into there. Lovely, so that's that one. So the next one is that one's actually got no symbol. It's quite a hard one to tell, but as you can see, that one says 1. So that's 3, that's got to be 4. But why would you put a number 1 at the end? Because anyway, so the ones we've got are left with, let's have a look here. This one doesn't have anything, so that tells me that is probably that hole there. So this should be number 1, hopefully. Oh, that one doesn't have a number 1 either. Oh, actually, yeah, this is a number 2, look. So is this one up here number 1? I'll have to try and do that in a minute because I don't think that's correct. But this one, for some reason, doesn't have a... Oh, yeah, there we go. It's just there. Number 1. Okay, so that matches number 1 there. Cushy. Okay, let's get that one in first. Again, these are all with AP screws, so we've got to get AP screws, people. So AP, sorry, where have I put my number? Was that number 1? Or was that number 1? I'm sure it was this one. That's 2, so this is number 1, I reckon. Yeah. Now, why am I trying to pick it up with a screwdriver, with a screw? Would someone like to, if someone would like to buy this, you can get it from Fan Home. Let me just, I keep forgetting to buy oil, and that's what my problem is at the moment. Right, there we go. So that's number 1. So I just want to check this one because I think this one might be wrong, because that one says number 2. Okay, so on the back here it just says number 2 there. So I would assume that that goes in there, but I'm just going to reverse this one because I'm not sure what number code that is. So I'm just going to take this one out for the minute. Just want to be more sure than not, you know. So that one, what number is this one got? Number 1. Right, okay, well, that's got number 1 on there, so that was right. So this has to be that screw, that spike. I don't know why you would go 1, 2, 3, 2, 4, but that's interesting. Sorry, 1. I get it. Right, I see what it is now. Right, so 1, 2, and then 3. That's what it is. Haha. So just check that again. And that's number 2. So we need this one because that's number 1, isn't it? Yeah. So it looks like it's 1 on the outside, and then 2 in the inside, and then number 3 in the middle. So right, let's just marry that up. It's got to go, because it's what we call a D key, it's got to go in the same rhythm, you know. So yeah, brilliant. Okie dokie. Okay, so this one then goes into this hole here because this is number 2, and that marries up with this one that hasn't got a symbol on it. So that one has to go like that. Wow. Okie dokie. Fantastic. Excellent. So now we'll just screw this in. I really must remember to get my magnetizer. It's so aggravating when you have a screwdriver, you've got to hold everything and then it doesn't hold on. Oh, magnetizer, where is it? I have to have it. It's here somewhere. I don't know where I put it, but whoops, 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 whoops. I'm going to show you something in a minute because oh, come on. We've got all the rest in, and this one seems to be playing me up at the moment. So where's that bloody magnetizer? I'm going to swap the screwdriver for a minute because I think see, that's holding it better. That tells me that that screwdriver needs a bit of magnetation. So let's put that into position a minute. What I can do is start that off. It falls out again. You see how that gripped the screwdriver, but oh, I feel like I'm going to be here all day with this screw. Just want to, if I can just get that to bite a minute, then I can carry on with my pH, you know. Actually, I might just stick with this because that seems to be going in, yeah, a lot more better, you know. Right, cushy. So that's what that looks like. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, quite happy with that. Fantastic. Okay, and then we've got BP. So this is where this skull goes on. As I say, I'm not really understand why that's got orange in there. This side doesn't, but I mean, there's nothing really I can do about that. Let me just try get a cotton wool bud here and see whether we can get that out, because I don't know what it is, and that's how it came. So, oh look, it's just a bit of whatever that looks like. Don't know what it is, but I thought that was actually some sort of like moulding in there, but it's had to come out, so that's fantastic. Right, so now what we need to do is we need to obviously we've done that. 2H will be this part here. This apparently gets used in the next assignment, and it does look like this part here, which is our, let's have a look, this part here is the very big 2G, as you can see. That looks like that's going to be used in another assignment as well, because we don't actually get to do anything with that part for the minute. So 2G and 2H will be left next time, and then all we need to do is to fit this section onto here. So, see where it's got to go, shall we? So we've got 2 holes here, and then we've got 2 holes. Oh no, look, they've only got 1 hole. So that's really good, because it tells you that it's just literally the one way. Now, they've got that, which is quite confusing, because I reckon it goes something like that. Yeah. So these 2 holes are going to marry up to these 2 in here, and it's going to slot into there like that. Oh wow. So that's going to go onto there, and we'll just put our AP screw back in the bag. So that's that part there, and then we've got BP into here. So let's get the BP, and the BP is going into this. Oh, we've got that problem again with this. Again, I'm going to use, where's it gone? I'm going to use my little, let's use this one. We get so many of these black screws. Sorry, black screwdrivers. So I'll just use this one for now. Again, it's probably a little bit too big, but as long as it's magnetized, it's helping me out. So come on, come on, come on. I feel like I'm getting on better with this screwdriver, but as I say, it could just be because it's, you know, magnetized. Right, last screw. This is what I love about Van Home, is they don't give you, sometimes you get like a nice empty bag, and then sometimes you might get a spare. So it's nice to see that not screws are being wasted. Because yeah, we get quite a lot of spares, and I don't like using that. I don't like to get spare screws. I like to know that all parts are being used. So okay, lovely. So fantastic. Okay, let's pick that off a minute. So that is what that now looks like. It looks a bit wonky, doesn't it? But I can only put it in the holes that it tells us to. So I feel like that's a little bit off. Look, that's a little bit off center maybe, but that, my friends, is our spoolder. And as you can see, they are connected into the screw hole. So I wonder why it's a bit wonky. But yeah, I think this is, because I was thinking it would go straight, but I think what this is like a pivot mechanism maybe, because that's around his shoulder. His shoulder will be like there, and then that goes over it. So maybe it's like a rocket mechanism, maybe, I don't know. But why we couldn't put this part in, I don't know, because that just slots into there. So, but apparently that's all we're doing on this consignment. So right, this is where there will be a short delay, because I've got to wait for the next parts to come in. Batman 89 has been sent out. Litchking, I don't think it's allocated yet, so we've got to wait for that. So what we're going to do, I'll show you in a minute. So that's obviously the end of this issue. Okay, so that's issue number 2 done. Now, There will be a short delay because obviously we've got to wait for the next parts to come in. Now, I'm just going to go and get a box, so just bear with me. Now, as you know, we've got to wait for obviously this to come in, Batman to come in. Now, the whole of Build the Disney Dolls House has been renewed. I had a very, very difficult time with the newsagents, and I got so wound up with it that I just really wanted to restart over again. Now, my good friend Barry, as you can see here, in this ginormous box, has managed to renew the whole build, as you can see. So inside here, we've got, I'll probably take this out actually, but inside here, we've got full to the brim. I've actually got more boxes than this. This is just half of it, but he has been a diamond because he's managed to get me all the issues for the doll's house. So yeah, you may be wondering why am I starting it again. All I will say is I had nothing but problems with the newsagent, and I just got so fed up with it that I wanted to renew it. So a lot of the parts were not really going together right. I had, if you remember, I had that massive wall. It was one of the walls in, I think as you go round, it was that back wall that I was missing, and that really held me up. So yeah, I'm renewing it. I've still got the old parts, but they'll be just kept as like replacement parts. But yeah, Barry has very kindly got me all the issues. So we're going to be starting that back up again from tomorrow. The old videos will be took down because I will not be keeping the old build up. So they're in the process of being removed, and then I will restart it all over again. So yes, more money I've had to pay out, but at the end of the day, it's a fresh build to me. So yeah, anyway, that's build issue 2 of the Litchking. As I say, I do expect the next package to be with us some point in December now. It could be the end of November, but anyway, thank you very much for watching. Please remember to like, share, subscribe if you haven't done so already. Always tap that notification bell and you'll be alerted as and when the next video comes up on the channel. And we'll see the Disney Dolls House issue number 1, Blast from the Past, on the channel tomorrow. Bye bye.